What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone's matchmaking system has been hijacked, has been taken over by the Call of Duty community. They've decided to fight back against skill-based matchmaking and put the power in their hands again, showcasing what the game could be if it had proper matchmaking involved in it. Of course, I am referring to the tactic that many are using across this community called two-boxing. And I made my thoughts on this pretty clear in the past, but I'll reiterate it again for those of you that don't know. If you two-box, be honest about it and transparent about it if you're creating content. If you're bragging about your scores, just be honest about it. And I don't care. I'm all with you here. I am there on the front lines picketing against skill-based matchmaking or engagement-optimized matchmaking, whatever it might be. I'm right there with you. I think it's stupid, I think it's oppressive, and honestly, I think it is a major detractor to a great game. And if this is what you need to do to enjoy the game, if this is what you need to do to reignite that spark that Call of Duty should have with you, go right ahead. This is your game. Play it how you want to. I don't think you're really affecting anyone at the end of the day. Because we've all been there. We've all been in those lobbies before when we were grinding up through Call of Duty where you're just getting absolutely pooped on by somebody on the other team. It happens. That's part of the Call of Duty experience. That was what used to make the Call of Duty experience so great, was the fact that you had these diversified matches. One match to the next, you never knew what to expect. But in the new skill-based matchmaking age, you always know what to expect. Super close games with everybody right around 1.0 and little to no fun had by anyone. And that's one of the reasons why player retention is down, player numbers are down. People are just sick of this awful system that is anti-player. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem as if Activision is willing to abandon it because they've invested how many years into this, how much money into this, so they're just sticking to their guns. But at least it seems two-boxing is a way around this, a method that you can utilize to your advantage to make the game fun again, to make it feel like new again. And I'm all for it. Go right ahead. Do what you need to do. The unfortunate part about two-boxing is the fact that the more prevalent it gets, the more common it gets, it's going to create a situation where you're going to force Activision to have to do something about it. And unfortunately, I don't think the result from this is going to be what the community wants, which is a loosening of the overall skill-based matchmaking parameters. Something that many feel will increase player retention, increase player numbers, increase fun and enjoyment, and end up increasing revenue, which is what Activision cares about. So it still doesn't really make much sense as to why they won't do anything about the current skill-based matchmaking parameters, but that's neither here nor there. They won't do that because it makes sense, because it's pro-player, because it goes against what they've been working on for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years with their skill-based matchmaking system. So instead, what they're going to do to combat two-boxing, to eradicate it, to force you to play under the oppressive skill-based matchmaking system, they're going to find ways to restrict, limit, and ban you as a player for doing it, for attempting it, for being in a match like that. They're going to create new report buttons for new players if there's somebody they suspect is two-boxing in their games. That's what's going to happen. They're going to watch you like a hawk moving forward, because that's how Activision operates. They want to protect the new players and let those veteran players, the experienced players, to just fend for themselves. Who cares about you? You're going to spend money anyways. You've been a part of the series forever. We need to coddle these new players that know nothing about FPSs, even though all of those experienced and veteran players were like them at one point, and they didn't have this protection and coddling during their tenure. You know how you create loyal fans? You create experiences that last. You create a community that cares about your video game. But Call of Duty has been so anti-community for the last several years, It shocks me that they have so many loyal fans still. I mean, I'm still here. I don't know why. I feel like a spouse that just keeps coming back after getting abused again and again and again. But I'm still here. And it's so disappointing. And it just showcases how far Call of Duty has fallen, that the community is resulting in these types of mechanics and tactics to just find genuine enjoyment in their game. I mean, I feel bad for content creators that have to play Call of Duty 2, 3, 4 hours a day. That grind sounds horrible. It sounds awful. I mean, I barely even want to play the game for 2 to 3 matches per week. It's not enjoyable. And skill-based matchmaking is definitely a contributor to that. So yeah, go ahead and 2box. Go ahead and make the game more enjoyable for yourself. Make it easier for yourself. Video games are hard enough already. There should not be systems in place that make it less enjoyable. It's so crazy to me that a game like X-Defiant is coming out and their big marketing pitch is the fact that there is no skill-based matchmaking in the game. The fact that we've fallen that far, because this wasn't something that was in every single video game. It wasn't there during the most popular Call of Duty games. COD 4, MW2, World at War, Black Ops 1. It wasn't there. And even if it wasn't as restrictive as it is now. It wasn't as oppressive as it is now. So where did we go wrong? Where did we deviate from the successful path we were on? That was all about the player experience at the forefront. Why is it that it has been ushered to the back and replaced in favor of these god-awful algorithms that are not about maximizing your enjoyment? It's all about optimizing your playtime. And I'm sick of it. I'm glad that this workaround is getting more popular. I'm glad that people are taking back and fighting back against Activision because they need it. They need the wake-up call. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to wake them up. I don't think it's going to result in them realizing that skill-based matchmaking in its current form does not result in what its intended purpose is for. Instead, it actually has an inverse effect on the game. Players playing for less amount of time, not as many players playing. Players finding workarounds to the matchmaking system. I mean, it's mind-blowing. And I don't hear about this in other games. Maybe it is prevalent in games like Fortnite or Apex or Rainbow Six Siege. I don't really know. But the fact that it's even a thing just makes me laugh. Because in competent games, that's not how it should be. But that's my thoughts on this. I'd love to hear your thoughts when it comes to 2boxing. Are you somebody who 2boxes? Would you? Do you think it's a smart idea or not? Love to hear your thoughts down below in that comment section. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.